You look at this picture, it's odd to think exactly just how far things had fallen. You know, at the time you can see that, of course, Prince William was being the ultimate gentleman, making sure, of course, that the new addition to the British monarchy wasn't feeling too left out. And even after the mega fallout, if you remember, at the Windsor walkabout, he was more than polite when I'm sure inside he must have been seething at exactly what was going on behind the scenes. But of course, ever the professional. Now, what's interesting about this particular picture is, according to that individual, that's right, Meghan Markle, well, things were so chummy between her and Prince William. In fact, they got on like a house on fire. And then this went wrong. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much as ever for your time. You'll have a lovely wave. Are you all right today? Not bad, thank you. And I'm so glad you enjoyed the video all about Joan Rivers and Phyllis Diller and people like that. As people say to me, Neil, you've been very lucky to meet so many different people. I really have. But I don't know if you find this when you've met people in your, through your life. You don't always take the moment to cherish that moment because, you're on to the next thing, particularly if you have a busy life or indeed a busy career. You go from one person to another and you think, wow. I was thinking the other day how I was sort of trapped in the ballroom of the Savoy Hotel with Arnold Schwarzenegger, no less. And he was there to do some sort of press conference. And it's very poorly attended, and I thought, wow, this is one of the biggest stars on the planet. How could it be? Always look to the publicity behind that, you know what I'm saying? Interesting as ever, isn't it? Now, back as ever to your royal story of the day. This picture, yes, according to Meghan Markle, you see, well, her and Prince William basically got on so well. She was very much welcomed in, and she doesn't recognise the person that William has become. You see how this twists around? Right? And you see, this was the point, because this is all sort of resurfaced, and according to a source that was working with Meghan very, very closely, she said she did not understand why both William and Catherine had cut her dead. After all, she said that she felt that she'd been the rescuer of his brother, Prince Harry. She said nobody knows what goes on behind the scenes. It's not easy dealing with someone who's continually going through therapy and all sorts of issues. One I'm happy to take on, but one I thought I might have got some more support for. You see how this works. Now, moving forward, of course, it's interesting because we don't know fully exactly how His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, Prince William, truly feels about Meghan Markle. One could only suspect, given the fact that they both gave them, that is, of course, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Harry a wide berth upon meeting. But what I find fascinating is the fact that Meghan is now clearly trying to rewrite that history and say that, they enjoyed long conversations together. They had very similar outlooks on climate and the world and how things could change for a more positive, kind, more loving world. And then, of course, as she said, suddenly everything stopped without notice. Now, when you don't have that much foresight, or indeed that much, well, shall we say, brains to understand, well, maybe you were the problem and not him, or simply you're just looking to try and rewrite the history books. Well, if Meghan truly does not understand why Prince William and indeed the Princess of Wales, Catherine, no longer wish to have anything to do with her, and more predominantly as well, his younger brother, Prince Harry, then you need to take a moment, a very long moment, dearie, of reflection and wonder whether it could be something you said, you did, or indeed your unjustifiable actions. Either way, this is now the narrative that the team are trying to push forward in order to once again to try and rewrite the history books to make out, in fact, that it wasn't Meghan at all. It's funny how time shifts blame, right? Neil Shawn in the very heart of London.